Hey Mitchell, what are you doing?
Oh hey, didn't see you there. I'm just working on our current HHS news assignment right now. It's fun stuff.
That's cool. You want to tell me a little bit about what you do exactly?
Oh certainly. Well, our HHS news is very unique. You see, we have this very unique intro right here. And that took about one class period to make. Just like all that green screen and stuff. And basically, just take all the clips and mesh them together, and just adding all the transitions and stuff. And we added this new thing called Can You Guess This Movie? And this particular episode involved the Lord of the Rings one. And how we do that is we get a video off YouTube and we make it into a certain file, and then we'll come over here on the desktop and click and drag it right there, and that's how we get all that stuff. And another new thing this year was the thing with the screen right here, and that's just easy, more click and drag. It's a lot of click and drag and whatnot. So that's basically the general gist, and then at the end I have to remember everyone's names and remember the titles. So that's basically what I do.
All right, thanks for telling us, Mitchell.
You're very welcome. Hello, Dylan.
Oh, hey there, Mitchell. I didn't
What
see
you doing there?
I'm doing a little bit of weekly planning for the news next week, and yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
What kind of planning goes into weekly planning?
Well, basically, what I do for weekly planning, we have different sections of what we do in news, such as like different segments I have to organize it into, like world news, local news, sports, and all that. And I'm writing down people's names and seeing what they're gonna do for next week, and such like that.
That's awesome.
Kind of like, so basically, I direct about what everyone's doing, and then some of the stories I'll organize for them sometimes, like specific stories, such as I could be the news anchor next week, so I have to make sure what parts I'm doing and saying, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm doing right now.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you for your time.
Yep. Well, I mean, could be more, but that's why I'm asking. I don't keep track of what everyone does, that's for sure.
Hey!
Let's all get a tree for a second. And now,
So Morgan, what do you do in HHS News?
Well, I do a lot of things. Because I'm a senior, I'll kind of walk around the room, make sure everybody's doing all right in my spare time. I collect ideas for the news show, and I have anchored on it. I do a big part of the news. I write the scripts for it sometimes, not all the time. Keep you guys in check, and did I say that? That's pretty important.
Cool. So, what are like some of the main things you've learned, like skill-wise, from HHS News?
Well, Mr. Optograph downloaded Adobe Effects, so I have dabbled in that a little bit and getting a little bit more familiar and create. Mitchell and I are still working on our lightsaber video, so when we get that, that'll be pretty cool.
So, what's next for you next semester, or is it you're actually leaving for next semester?
I am leaving. I will be gone at Heartland.
You want to say goodbye to everybody?
Toodles.
Hi, Mitchell. Hey.
Hello.
So, tell us what you do for HHS News.
I work mainly with, just a general idea of HHS News, like telling people, like, oh, we're on news this week, and then helping record and all that. And I don't record all the time, but I have quite a few times. And then I'm usually mainly in charge of going on the Mac and editing it and like bringing it all together. And what you see on the TVs is like the finished product with all like the fancy like name things and the credits is like what I produce and all that. So yeah, that's basically my main role in the news.
So, tell us what you think you learned skill-wise in HHS News.
I've learned a lot about Final Cut Pro because last year, I just kind of was winging it a lot. I knew the general idea of how to do it, but like the whole green screen picture things, just kind of made it work. But this year I learned like the proper ways to do it and like say like putting pictures like up on videos, like they're talking about something, picture pops up here, like I learned how to do stuff like that, and I learned how to fix really crappy transitions and make those look fine and all that stuff.
Do you think our group has achieved some of our milestones we set during the first kind of part of the year?
Yeah, our main milestones were like, you know, get HHS news more like, what's the word, evolutionized, I guess, like make it more different, because it used to be like the same thing every week, just like, oh, here's the news, here's this. Now we're doing like anchors, and we're making sure like all the stories don't involve like someone dying or something. Like we're trying to get like a really different feel and like a unique feel, even from like different hours. And we also learned a lot about like technology and stuff and like how to use it. So I think we achieved some good stuff.
And do you have any final words for our audience?
Stay classy. Hello, Dylan.
Hello.
All right, what would you say is your main role in HHS News?
Well, call myself the director and producer. I basically tell people when they're supposed to be on the news, because we have a rotation of people that are involved in the class. We try getting everyone involved into it. I do some stories sometimes. I've done some anchoring with it. And I do a little bit of everything, but mainly I direct, make sure it gets done and everyone is doing their stuff. That's mainly what I do.
Fantastic. Now, what would you say you have achieved this year, like milestones, goals?
Well, me and Mitchell have done HHS News last year a little bit, but we really didn't know what we were doing most of the time. This year, we control the whole boat about it pretty much, other than putting it up on the screens. And we have done really well at that on timeliness and making it more crisp and clear. And I got it up on YouTube, so I think we've achieved doing that. And I learned more about leadership a little bit and directing people, not forcing people to do it, but actually having some fun with that. I've learned a little bit about Final Cut Pro, just a tad, and just a little bit of that.
Truly amazing. Now, Dylan, what would you say you have learned? Like, is there any brand new things that you had like no idea you could do, or something you wanted to learn that you actually did learn this year?
Well, I learned some stuff because we had these milestones we had to achieve. I learned about kind of planning. I learned a lot more about planning the schedule and preparation for it, because I have to do most of that, and then finding stories, innovative stories. I have to find some other ways of doing that. I've learned a little bit about that. I've learned a lot more about some of my classmates and how they work, and then pretty much working with more camera shy people. I haven't had a really big problem with that like we did last year, and I think that's a part of what I've learned how to do that, to help people out like that.
All right, Dylan, now any last words for our audience before you go?
Stay classy, Hayward.
Thank you.